Welcome to Easy 3 Sport Production. I'm your host Suttles, and today we'll be reviewing the game between the New York Football Giants and the Washington Football Team. Let's get it. We finally won a game. Yes! We finally won a game. 20-19 against the Washington Football Team. The New York Giants has finally won a game. That brings us to 1-5. That doesn't sound like a good record, but Giant Nation, be happy. There's a lot of pessimistic people out there. There's a lot of, but we didn't look good winning. Washington team suck. We should have blew them out. We're not a good team. Just understand that. We're not a good team ourselves. So for us to be really holding ourselves at a crazy high pedestal over the Washington Football Team, no, we're more like even. I'm very happy with this win. I'm ecstatic about this win because we don't get them that often. And if you really think that, we should have blown them out, they were no competition for us and things of that nature, you're sadly mistaken yourself. We're on the same level as the Washington Football Team, just like everybody in the NFC East. So be happy. Just be happy. But to review the game, the Giants did win 20-19. The Giants came out looking good real early, jumped to a 10-point lead. Daniel Jones threw a beautiful, beautiful ball to Darius Slayton in the end zone. And we looked good. Offensively, we look good. Defensively, we look good. And then the tides began to turn around halftime for the Washington team. They were driving down the field. We actually stopped them, and it was a 4th and 9. Then we ran into the punter, which was a costly mistake because then that made Ron Rivera say, hey, let's go for it. They went for it. They converted, and they ended up scoring a touchdown right before the half to make it 13-10. And it was just a back and forth game. It wasn't the best football. It was always something that was going to happen. We just had to wait to see who was going to make the biggest mistake. And for a while, the Giants thought that it was going to be Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones, we drove all the way down the field again on a double-digit play drive and ended that drive. It was 1st and 10, first and goal. And he ended up throwing an interception to Kendall Fuller. I believe that his elbow touched the white, so it shouldn't have been an interception, but nonetheless, they called it an interception. He was actually just trying to throw the ball away, but they didn't have enough arm strength. And the Washington Football Team, they began to drive down the field, and what really happened there was the Giants have been getting the short end of the stick when it comes to luck past 3 years, and this was a strike of luck. Kyler Fackrell, he comes through and he gets a strip sack. Tay Crowder picks it up and he takes it to the house. So we got a defensive touchdown that put us up 20-13. But the Washington Football Team gets the ball back. They drive down the field. They score 20-19 in Riverboat Ron. For people that was thinking, we're about to go into overtime, I can personally say once they were driving down the field, I said Riverboat Ron is going to go for 2. If they score, he's going to go for 2. He's not going to leave anything on the table. He's not going to go to overtime. He's going to go for 2. And lo and behold, he went for 2. They didn't convert. Giants in. Now, overall, our offense, I can just see this offensive line. I want to start with the offense. We're getting a lot better. The pass protection was there. This was a really good front 7 that we was able to hold up, and Daniel Jones actually had some good time to throw the ball. The running lanes were getting way better at run blocking. We was able to gash the Washington Football Team for over 100 yards for the day. So I'm really high on our offensive line now. I seen that Matt Pert was out there. He was doing good. Andrew Thomas had a pretty good game. They only gave up 1 sack throughout the day, but I like the positives. I like what the offensive line is beginning to do. As for Daniel Jones, I still want to see more from him. Jason Garrett really honed in on him. He really only had him throw 19 times. He had him run for a little bit more. He had like 7 rushes, but one of his big runs was a 49-yard read option, and he kept it, and Daniel Jones just flat out ran. Just the more times Daniel Jones ran, we kept seeing he was lowering that shoulder. He was using that extra 8 to 9 pounds that he gained over the summer, and he's down there taking hits like a big boy, so he's fearless. But again, the turnovers, that's where the problem lies. The interception that he threw, I know that he was trying to throw it away, and I can see that it shouldn't have been an interception, but at the end of the day, that was a gut-wrenching interception, and it really turned the tides and gave the Washington football team an extra boost just for them to come back, because we was destroying them. We had that game in the palm of our hands with no regards. We had them down. We had to just kick them out, but it didn't happen. Devontae Freeman, looked really good. Was able to generate the run game. The defense, they played pretty good. I like to see more, but our defense is a very bendable defense, and what I mean by that is that they don't really lock people down. They just stop them at certain points of the game. Now, granted, in all of these games, the defense is definitely the reason why we are in these games in the first place, because our offense wasn't really generating any points. But the defense isn't a 60-minute type defense. They are spurt here, spurt here, spurt here type defense. We ended up getting 3 sacks on Kyle Allen. James Bradbury caught an interception. And as I mentioned earlier, Kyle Fackrell, strip sack fumble. Tay Crowder takes it to the house. So overall, we got 2 turnovers. It almost was 3 because Kyle Allen did throw another ball that slipped through the receiver's hand, and James Bradbury almost caught it, but he was out of bounds. But lo and behold, 3 sacks, 2 turnovers, and a very, very important defensive stop for the 2-point conversion. Can't really ask too much of him, because we did have a lot of injuries. Guys played their hearts out, and they got Joe Judge that first win, and it feels good. As a Giant fan, it just feels good to actually win a game. It doesn't matter who it's against. This is the NFL. In the NFL, it's a reason why all the games every Sunday is always 1-score games, 3-point games. It's very hard to blow a team out. It is. It's extremely difficult to blow a team out, no matter how good or how bad. This is the NFL. You got to take the wins how they come. And if you paid attention to Joe Judge and at the beginning with his press conference, and then you really have to think of where he came from. He came from New England. They don't care how much they win by. As long as their team has 1 more point than the other team, they don't care. That's a W. How many times have we seen New England win 13-12 or 16-13, 34-33, but then 20-19? Like, they win in all different fashions, but they're all W's. They all count at the end of the day. Now, it's going to be a short week because we're playing the Philadelphia Eagles on Thursday Night Football. The Eagles are coming off of a loss to the Baltimore Ravens. They were getting blown out, but then somehow they ended up coming back, and they still ended up losing. But I feel hopeful, feel happy. Just feel happy with this win, Giant Nation. 20-19. We don't have a donut in the W column no more. We gotta win. We gotta dub. Enjoy it. And that has been a Subtle's Take from Easy 3 Sport Production. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave your thoughts in the comment section. Until next time, I'm out.